Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 70 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, aka the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. Kept going like this. I do not know how to play the piano. Learned a little bit how to play guitar when I was in college. I think it is time for me actually to give a heartfelt apology to everybody who lived on my floor in the McMahon dormitory, because I believe it was my freshman or sophomore year. I would jam out on an acoustic guitar in the common area of our dorm floor, and I was terrible at playing it. I thought I was in that period of my life where I was growing my hair out long. I was going to play acoustic guitar, and I thought that was going to get me all the babes. It did not. The hair, I had to cut it very shortly thereafter because it looked ugly, and the guitar, I just do not have the dexterity in the fingers nor the musical mind to know how to put all the notes together to make beautiful, beautiful sounds of music. Also, the B-Man, I need to apologize for episode 69. I was editing it or rewatching it, and I realized my energy was not where it needed to be, especially for a 69th episode. In real life, I'm mundane, monotone voice. So I do up the energy when I'm on the camera, in front of the camera, or on stage. And it was just one of those episodes where I was rewatching it back, scouting myself, and even I wanted to turn it off because I was just boring. Put a CPAC machine on me to fall asleep. It was that. Anyone who watched the entire episode 69, I'll give you some candy corn. Yes, we're transitioning. Apologize twice. That's no way to open up an episode to be alpha. Candy corn, I fuck so hard with candy corn. Now, I'm not about to get into a debate with all of you, because we know it's a played out debate, the candy corn, whether you love it, you hate it. Nobody's indifferent. Candy corn, it's the same reason why I've learned that U2 is a successful band. Because nobody does, that's almost a double negative. I was going to go, nobody does not have a opinion on U2. No. Everybody has an opinion of U2, whether it's positive or negative. You ask somebody, hey, what's your opinion of U2? Nobody's going to say, I could take him or leave him. No, you're like, love U2, hardcore, Joshua Tree. You can go song by song by song, or I fucking hate U2. I despise them. They uploaded all their songs onto my phone before I bought the phone. Now I had to listen to their music, and it wasn't Joshua Tree. It was post-2005 U2, when they had gotten a little too much into politics and the UN. And are they involved with child trafficking? I don't know. Seems like everybody who's in Hollywood and music now either is having gay sex or involved with trafficking humans across state and country lines. I'm not going to get into that. I hope Bono is not involved in any of that, because I'm a lover of U2. And I keep saying Joshua Tree because that's the only album I know of them. Where the streets have no names. All right, yeah, but I'm pro candy corn. Love it. I have a bowl of it upstairs. Studio's multi-level upstairs. I've been munching it all day. I know I'm going to gain a 5 to 10 pounds because it's all I've been eating. My big takeaway, the B-Man, my takeaway with candy corn is, I don't understand why there are heroin users when we have candy corn. Because I eat candy corn and it goes straight to my heart. It goes straight to my veins. I get a sugar rush, and I feel like Superman for about 2.5 minutes. I eat two candy corn, swallow them, and boom, I'm ready to run through a wall. I'm ready to go hijack my neighbor's car. I'm ready to do anything to anyone, because that sugar high, it's intoxicating. And I've never done heroin, but I gotta imagine it can't be much better than a candy corn. That's how high I am right now on candy corn, is I can't even think straight, because that sugar high, it's got me so dizzy in the head that, yeah, if you're doing heroin, just skip heroin, quit heroin, throw out the needles, and start sucking down some candy corn, because that stimulation that you get from just 2 pieces of candy corn, 2 corners, that will give you as big of a high as heroin can. And obviously, B-Man, I do not do a heroin, because I actually think that heroin and candy corn are comparable, that are similar in how they alter the body. Enough with candy corn, enough with my apologies. What else is on my mind? Someone else's mind is on my mind. Again, that's B-Man. I have a way with being redundant in these openings. I have a comic friend. I won't call him a friend. I know who he is, right? I've seen him do comedy a lot. We kind of roll. I've been seeing him a lot. He's a dog shit comic. He is terrible. His name is... He was supposed to make me a little 70s character to put on my table. Still has not done so. Somehow, he's good with his hands, like he's crafting things with wood. But his comedy, dog shit. It's straight out of the 70s. It's more older than Jay Leno. It's A.B., like rules of 3 jokes. It's the misdirection, but you see the misdirection coming. I won't play up his jokes or tell his jokes, because he wouldn't make... He has these jokes where it makes all the comics in the back cringe, and we laugh at because his jokes are so unoriginal and so old-timey, and I don't know why I'm shitting on... The reason why I'm talking about right now, and when I say the word his name, it's exactly what you think of would look like. Greek guy, does hacky accents on stage. Anyway, he just got engaged. So he was talking shit on stage about he engaged to his now fiance. Now his fiance is talking about booking spots and where they want to get married and venues and wedding parties. And he's been engaged maybe 2 weeks now. And the bill is it's kind of like that a Bob Barker, Price is Right, the yodeler who keeps going up. Like, that's the price total. Not 2 weeks in, I know that this wedding's going to cost upwards and probably past $20,000. And just seeing, usually, although he's a dog shit comic, he's a very positive guy, laughing, uplifting personality. How's it going? Let's get the work together. Very rah kind of personality. Hate those personalities. Maybe I don't like. Anyways, I was talking to him off stage. I'm like, hey, is this real? Did you really get engaged? Like, you really found a woman that would fuck you? He's like, yeah, it's amazing. It's great. But he was talking about the price and how much is it going to cost. And he was telling me, I didn't know this is how... I thought I would just propose, and then there would be a year or two of being what's that called when the interim, that no man's land where you're dating, but then you get married. What's that period in between called? Engagement. That engaged period. He thought the engagement would last a couple years, and then they would start planning the wedding. But 2 weeks in, I could tell if he had any stones at all, this wedding would not happen, and they would break up and go their separate ways. But his comedy's dog shit, and he's one of those guys. He's just gonna go through with it because he doesn't realize that he has the autonomy where he could just say, no, I don't want to do this, and back away and run away. Okay, he's just going to go through it and be miserable the rest of his life, much like his comedy is. But he's like, I didn't know we were going to pick venues this quickly, and it was going to cost this much. And she was looking at flowers. And even as a bum, and I'm a bum, a failure when it comes to love and relationships. I went on a date last week. I think I told you about it, and she had asked me, when was your last relationship? And I had to pause and really, I was like, well, I kind of saw a girl for a couple months, like the summer before last. And she's like, well, that's a big red flag. And well, yeah, I guess I'm a walking red flag. But even me, someone who hardly ever gets in relationships knows that, hey, once you propose, like, it's off to the races, and there's no stopping the bride to be, because, you ladies, some of you, a lot of you are a little cuckoo in the head when you get a ring on the ring finger. So yeah, his life's over. I'd say I feel bad for him, but yeah, I've had to listen to his dog shit comedy for so long now that maybe he had it coming to him. But I'm going to try to talk him out of getting married, out of this engagement, and I'm going to try to help him out, because he doesn't deserve a life of purgatory in a marriage where he's probably not going to be happy. I don't know why I just spent 5 to 7 minutes. How long have we been talking? Yeah, 7 minutes about a comic who I don't even respect his comedy. So let's move on, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into something I found on Reddit. I seem to say that phrase a lot. I need to come up with a new phrase. This one comes from the subreddit Neville Goddard. Coincidence? Nope. I've been reading about the teachings of Neville Goddard for about 2 days. In these few days, I've fully immersed myself in the books, successes, and ideas that teach his work. On day 1, I explored his teachings, and on day 2, I had acquired a copy of Feeling is the Secret. Incredible stuff. I am feeling extremely enlightened by every statement this man has ever spoken. This morning, my colleague and I were chatting about our boss, who we genuinely admire and respect very much. In that moment, our boss walked inside and said, "Hello." My colleague's response was, "Well, speak of the sunshine and she shall appear." That's a sentence tough for me to pronounce with all my slurring. Anyway, back to the Reddit post. Speak of the sunshine and she shall appear. I repeated that statement in my mind all day. To everyone else, it might seem like such a passive little thing to say. But no, this is incredibly powerful statement was just spoken into thin air. Mind you, I haven't spoken about Neville or anything related to this topic at work. I just found it extremely interesting that this sentence was spoken first thing in the morning. It all makes sense the way my mindset shifted merely days ago. And the signs of change in my world have already started to jump at me. It's no coincidence. It's my doing. No, it's not. It's not your doing. Now, full disclaimer. Do I know who, what's this guy's name again? Neville Goddard. I'm probably mispronouncing that name, as I do with most names that are not the most basic Anglo-Saxon surnames. Do I know who this guy is? No, I don't know who he is. Should have I looked up his Wikipedia to figure out just a little bit of background information to be responsible? So when I do talk about this guy, I could do so in a broadcasty, responsible way. Using that word again, need to use some new vocabulary words. Yeah, I probably should have spent 5 minutes on Wikipedia looking up his history so I know what I'm talking about. But that's not what we do here at Verbal Graffiti. We're here about making claims, getting jokes, giving you advice, getting people laughing. I don't care if what I say is true or not, or if I know what I'm talking about, who the person may be or may not be. And when it really comes down to it, it doesn't really matter, because a post tells me everything I need to know about this guy, Neville Goddard. Neville is a glorified fortune cookie. The fortune cookie with a fortune on it. You see, this guy, they're all the same. Whether this guy's a motivational speaker, whether it's a fortune teller, whether it's a lady on the street corner reading you tarot cards, they're all the same. These are people, they have a way with words and they speak in generalities, and they do it in such a way that they find suckers. So when they give their spiel to these individuals who pay them, hey, give me $10, I'll tell you your fortune. And they say these words, and the suckers are so stupid, dull-witted, that they think, oh my God, you're right. Where have you been my entire life? And that's who this poster is. He's the sucker. This guy, he's known this guy, Neville Goddard, for 2 days, and he's already bought his book that probably cost $39.95, and he's probably a week away from becoming don't stumble all over your words, B-Man. This is why I can never be a fortune teller, because I'm not smooth with my words. Well, yeah, this guy Neville Goddard, if he's still alive, our poster's probably gonna pay $3,500 to go to this motivational speaker's 3-day seminar in Houston, Texas. He's going to be completely bamboozled. He's going to lose thousands and thousands of dollars and lots of personal time on this guy's teaching, his method of finding clarity in life and becoming a better human being and finding your purpose, your happiness, your inner self. It's all bullshit. This is all bullshit. And the B-Man, our poster, I could spend the next 5 minutes lampooning him and his personality and how he fell for this huckster, but it would do neither of us any good, because this guy, our poster here, he is who he is. If it's not Neville Goddard, whoever that may be, this Gandhi-like figure, he would have fallen into some other scam, whether it's some fitness facility where he has to pay $250 every week to be part of the special class, or whether what's some other scam? Or, he gives 20% of each paycheck to the Red Cross, only to find out years later that only a little smidgen of the money you give to Red Cross actually goes to the people affected by natural disasters. You do know that's the case. I hope you do. I hope you do. That's why I don't give any money to charity, because I don't trust any charity, because the money never goes where it needs to go. Here's why I never also buy a book by Neville Goddard. This is who you are. I'm amazed you've gotten this far in life without joining a cult. Because what you're doing, whatever this Neville Goddard, Gandhi type character is, I do get the tingly senses on my arm that this is a quasi cult. And if this Neville guy wanted you to, within a month, you would drop your religion, your family, and you'd follow this Neville Goddard character into the woods, into some cabin. You'd join his cult. You'd sleep in a bunk bed, and you would die. You die with all your other cult members while wearing your Nikes in that cabin in the middle of bumfuck Texas. And you end up being on a Netflix documentary 3 years from now. And we would talk about it with our colleagues for a few days, and then we'd move on to the next series, because Americans, we don't have our minds are doggy. It's like, what? We don't focus on one thing long enough. All right. I don't know why I just threw shade at our entire nation. That was not nice of the B-Man. The thing about, but this is who you are. I'm not going to lampoon you. Once you get through with this one and it doesn't fulfill that emptiness inside of you, you're just gonna be on to the next scam. And hopefully it's not a Russian bride. Hopefully it's something above board legally. So that's just who you are. We've covered plenty of scam artists and plenty of people who get scammed on Verbal Graffiti. It's an ongoing type of personality that we bring up here, and you're one of those personalities. So, hey, it is who you are. If this is making you happy in the moment, I say good for you. Good for, if it inspires you for the next few weeks and it gives you a more positive outlook on your life and life in general, well, hey, then all cults start out good. All right? we all know most cults end up in a shootout or in death, but they start out fun. So you got that going for you. And you are in the beginning part of this cult. So, hey, good for you. The thing about this post, so that kind of hit me, it kind of angered me, was the way you and your colleague talked about your boss. For a guy with a lisp, all those S's was very difficult. What was the way you use multiple adjectives, positive adjectives, to speak about your boss? You said, what do you say? We genuinely admire and respect very much. That's what you say about your boss when she's not even in the room. Excuse me, I just burped a little bit. That gives me, as a man, I'm an employee, not an employer. So as an employee, that gives me the ick. Now, not the ick that women get with the creeps. It gives me the employee ick. Like, you really respect your boss, and you like when she enters the room. Ugh. I would rather a boss, and if I was a boss, I've never been a boss, but I would rather a colleague, a coworker of mine, I'd rather get sexually assaulted than have somebody give me a glowing compliment like that, like respect and admiration for me. Saying, no, this is a business relationship. I would rather a colleague, like we're at a Thursday, Friday, after hours, happy hour with the team members. I'd rather a colleague come into the bathroom behind me and try to stick an unlubed finger up my asshole while I'm peeing in the urinal than hear a colleague say, "Oh, sunshine," and you're great, and all this this blah, blah shit coming out of your mouth telling me how great an employee I am. Now, give me sexual assault 10 out of 10 times rather than just that. You probably like what you do for a living. I know what type of employee you are. You're a type of employee that you're perfectly fine getting your 2.75% annual raise every year, that's the same thing. Yeah, so you're okay getting that small percentage raise. You get giddy every time your boss sends you an email thanking you for how hard you're working for the company, and you're willing to work after hours for no pay to complete that project because it's for the betterment of the team. Your life is bland. Your favorite activity in the week is when you have stir fry for dinner and you watch Shrek for the umpteenth time in your life. You play board games. The fact that you compliment your boss in such fashion is no wonder why you're following this Neville Goddard person, whoever the fuck that is. Enough with you. Let's go look at some photos. So Tupac is gay, huh? Saw the video of him early 90s talking as gays normally do. I shouldn't say normally, but the gays sometimes have a way of speaking that is very gay-esque. And there are these videos circling around the internet of Tupac when he was at some drama high school, talking a little gay-esque, and yeah, I guess he was gay. I guess that's what the gays are doing now. They're claiming all the great men in American history. They're claiming as their own. They came after Lincoln. Everybody says Lincoln is gay now. He was sleeping with all the politicians. You go from one train stop to the next, get a vote from a politician in bed, and then move on to the next. So, hey, if you're claiming Lincoln, you can really claim anybody in American history. George Washington, only people who fought with him were men. Probably means he was gay. I'm not hating on the gays. I'm admiring it. I wish I did that here at Verbal Graffiti. Every time something great happened, I guess Verbal Graffiti's only been about 6 months old now, maybe a little longer. anything great that's happening. Oh yeah, huge fan of verbal graffiti. Hawk to a babe. Fan of verbal graffiti. Have her on the podcast. Gotta start doing that here. That's a smart play. A tip of the proverbial hat to the gay community for claiming all the great men in history. Who else? Truman probably gay. Hey, that shows you how little the B-man I know about history. Is all I can cite are ex-presidents and famous musicians in our past. Listen, do I have a master's degree in history? Yes, I do. Do I really know any history at all? Barely any. If any of you remember, episodes ago, I said I was reading this book, 10 Days That Changed the World. I'm about 70 pages into it. Been reading it for about almost 3 months now. So I just read slow. As you saw last episode, we'll get back to this book, but I'm a very slow reader, especially when I have to read aloud. Why am I pointing out all my flaws? Also want to make one more apology in regards to episode 69. Is I had the microphone up too high. I was trying to put it closer to my face. I thought that would make the sound a little bit more proficient, but it ended up covering my face when I saw the video back, so I lowered it a little bit. I'll just up the dBs in the recording equipment. Look at the B-man talking audio lingo. Anything else I want to ruminate about? Nah, let's get into this one. This one's fun. Saw this one at the subreddit. A bra that fits. I don't think I'm wearing the right size, like at all. I've been wearing whatever my grandma hands down to me because we're similar in size, but I'm literally a full-grown woman, 20 years old. I need to buy a new bra emoji. I've lost 40 pounds. Yippee! Since I got the one I'm wearing, as I was 238 pounds, whoa, and now I'm 185 pounds. Hey, good for you, good progress. I'm heavy-chested, but losing waist inches so my bra doesn't fit right anymore. Any suggestions? Cup size, G as in glass, waist size, not sure. I need more detail, okay? Sometimes comics will come up to me and they'll ask for advice. Hey, what do you think about my joke? I'm not saying I'm a great comic. I'm not a great comic. But sometimes some comics think I'm actually all right at what I do on stage. So they'll ask advice. And a lot of times I will tell the comic, you need we paint the picture. You're giving me the details, but I need more. I paint the picture. Like, okay, you're at the store, but what store is it? What's the temperature? What's on the shelf? Who else is in the store with you? What are the other patrons? What are they buying? How's that different than what you're buying? I need more. I need detail. So what I'm getting at here is you tell me you're a heavy-chested lady. Okay, overweight, yes, but not, 235 to 185. Great for you. I'm loving that you're getting healthy. We need more of that in America. So clapping for you. Continue with the progress with the weight loss. But when you tell me you're heavy-chested, like okay, so that tells me you're not an A cup. You have at least a handful. But like, what's the handful consist of? Like how much do your boobs sag, if at all? What size are your areolas? Do your nipples like point out a lot? So if you're not wearing a bra, it's very noticeable. I want to know, like, how heavy are your boobs? Like, can you take a Coca-Cola can and like put them on your under boob and hold the can under your boob and walk up and down the street without it dropping and spilling on the ground? Is that the type of heavy boobs we're talking about? Are you boobs so heavy that you dread a hot summer afternoon knowing that the sweat that builds up under the under boob will be similar to a lazy river. That's how much sweat you have on your under boob. Is that the type of heavy set boob we're talking about here? Like how heavy set are the boobs? Are we talking so heavy set that you could be a carnival act, a singular carnival act? Your boobs themselves, are they that outrageous, that bodacious, that you can that people will come out and pay money to see the type of fun activities you can do with your boobs? What I mean, I need more. I need adjectives. I need you to paint. Tell me a story about your boobs so that they're memorable. When you tell me they're heavy set, it's like, okay, like, is it actual boob or is it just a fat lady boob, or it's not really the boob, it's just her fat that's kind of stuffed up into her boob? I need so much more than just a word to work with you, but I'll do. I'll do the best I can here with you. First off, I'm going to assume you're a black lady. Is that assumption I just made? Is that a tinge bit racist? Yeah, I'd agree with you. Yes, it is. But I will also say, in my defense, that having a little bit of racism is healthy. Having enough racism where you can bullshit with people that are different than you and tell jokes, I always tell people I'm a fun racist. And what I mean by that is I like to tell jokes. I can go back and forth. We can banter and not take it too seriously. That, and maybe throw in some historical references. Somebody who has no racism is just a wet blanket, someone you don't want to associate with. That's someone who's going to rat your ass out to HR. But having a little bit of racism where you can bullshit each other over, or, your lunch hour, that's healthy. That's healthy for society. The reason why I say you're heavy set, I'm not gonna mention that, but the fact that your grandmother passed down her bra to you as a white guy in white suburban culture, that's not a thing I knew happened. Does that happen in other cultures? And maybe it does. I've never worn a bra. I don't know a whole lot about bras other than knowing how to unhook them. I couldn't even explain to you how to use a training bra. That's how bra-less I am as a human being. But that for some reason that strikes me as a black culture. Maybe South American culture thing, passing down bras. Is that, when you said that really made me go rock and raise my eyebrow and try to smell. What is it that you're cooking there? Because I've never smelt anything like that before. So I guess this is a thing. Maybe, girls, babes, tell me, is this a thing, passing down bras from one generation to the next? I didn't know that was a custom that happened. I have heard of, fathers who have a very nice watch will pass it down to their son. Me, I have my grandfather's World War II dog tags. That brings up another point. Side rant. So many people talk about, I'm passing down my lineage, my legacy to future generations. That's why I want to have kids. And look I have my grandfather, who I didn't know at all. All my grandparents died when I was very young. I have his dog tags. I have really no relationship with the guy. Hey, he fought in World War II, and look what I'm doing here. I'm doing a smut humor, verbal graffiti. Yeah, I'm sure he's really proud of what came of his family name. So yeah, the whole passing down your lineage thing, it's, unless you're royalty, unless you've actually held a position of distinction, there is no legacy. It's just, we're wasting space here on Earth. Whoa, that's pretty deep. All right, back to you. Another question I have with bras is, okay, your grandmother wore this bra and she passed it down to you, so that she passed it down 2 generations. So she went past her daughter to her granddaughter. She hopscotched there for over the mother to the granddaughter. Do bras not does the fabric not wear apart? Because with guys and with the babes too, like our underwear, you know how it kind of fades and then it'll get holes in them, and then that's kind of the point where it's okay. I gotta do an underwear run and go to the store and pick up a 3-pack of undies. Does that not happen with bras? Like the fabric just because from grandma to granddaughter, that's like a 50-year without having to replace the bra. So what is the deal with that? I would assume if you're wearing bras weekly, that the fabric would eventually wear away. I don't why do I keep going like this? Like I'm Superman. All right. So that's confounding to me, confusing. Uh, uh, so there's just a lot to process with this one. You need to be outrageous. You need to go to whatever community college you're attending now and just go up to every heavy set lady and ask them what bra they're wearing, what size they're wearing, and just have a notepad and get all the details to all the heavy set boobs that will give up the beans to you and give up their secrets. So just kind of do a survey around campus with all the heavyset boobs, what bras they wear, what fabrics, what brands, and what you want to do if you want to take it to the next step. And to be man, this is how you're going to take this to the next step. You need to find a gay best friend, like a very flamboyant gay guy, and the guy who knows fashion, women's, guys' fashion, knows it all. You gotta clear out a weekend, and the two of you have to go to the big city, whatever the biggest metropolitan area closest to you. Clear out your calendar, go there for Saturday, Sunday. Don't go to Victoria's Secret or any of the big stores, Macy's. Go to a small boutique lingerie store. You walk in there, you tell the clerk, the lady behind or the guy behind the counter, you go, hey, I want to talk to the boss. I want to talk to the owner of this boutique. And when the owner comes out, that's when you go ham, you take your top off, right? You don't wait to go into the what do you call that? The dressing room. No, you're right there in the store where everyone can see you. You just whip your top off. You rip off your grandmother's bra, and you go, listen, my whole life, 20 years, I've been wearing my grandmother's bra. I need a real bra because I've lost 40 pounds, and I'm a real woman of 20 years of age. Help me out. And you have them weigh your boobs, get the tape measure. They find out your real size. They do the hand test. They figure it out. You try on every bra. These people are professionals in the big city, the boutique lingerie store. They know everything bra. They know everything boobs. They know everything fabric. They know everything, the right number of hooks you need in the back. You go there with your gay guy. He's an expert with fashion. The gay guy and the boutique owner, they'll converse and they'll figure out the perfect bra for you. And the key for you is bring your credit card, put it on the table, and buy a 6-pack of those bras. Because obviously one is not going to be enough. You need to have as many as you can afford. And if you're going to be at a store like that, I'm assuming they're going to be very expensive. You need to buy at least a 6-pack. Let's go with 7 because there's 7 days in a week. So yeah, you gotta go to those stores. You gotta be abrasive. You gotta be type A personality. You can't be passive like, hey, can you have? No. You go in there. You go in there like you're the sergeant of the 101st Airborne, and you demand answers not from the clerk, from the owner of that store. And then you come home to your wherever you live, you give your bra back to your grandmother because she's going to die soon. So she's going to need a bra to wear in that casket, which brings up another question. Ladies, when you die, do you wear a bra in the casket before you're married? Or do you get buried braless? Please let me know. But yeah, this is what you gotta do. Gay best friend, go to the boutique, an expert, they'll do the measurements, they'll tell you, what's good, and you'll be amazed how far bra technology has come since your grandmother's age of the 1970s when Welcome Back Cotter was on TV every week. It's amazing what these clothing brands have done with clothes and making them feel comfortable and breathable. So you're in for a whole new world, and I'm happy for you. You're losing weight. You're soon to get a bra that fits. Life is looking up for you. So good thing for you, but for everybody else, no. Oh, no, 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 no. We got to get to the segment. I got to read from A Salesman's Wife by John Lawrence. What page are we on now? I only read 2 pages. Sometimes books don't start on page 1. So this book actually started on page 5, which means we're on top of page 7 right now. I'll read 2 pages for us. A Greek god from ancient times. They had seen each other immediately, and a strange flash of electricity had passed between them. Normally, Pamela would never have talked to a man on the street like that, since she had only just begun working as a secretary and was out of her own for the first time in her life. But Alan was so excitingly attractive that her heart had begun to thump madly in her chest, and after a whirlwind courtship, they were married. It was a dream come true. Pamela had found her prince, and she foresaw nothing but happiness ahead. "I'll be back on Friday," Alan said, "and then we'll have a few days together." "Oh, I'm so glad," she replied happily. They kissed again deeply with great passion, and as they did, their bodies began to respond with growing desire. They pressed close together, and Alan ran his hands up and down the enticing folds of her silky nightie, revealing the soft texture of the garment. Then he slid his hand up under the material and began to stroke the naked skin of her back, while Pamela cuddled closer and kissed her husband gently on the cheek, nuzzling his rough chin. Instinctively, her hand began to rove over his muscular back. She loved his powerful body, hard as a rock from years of working out, and she felt a spasm of excitement pulse through her as she touched his skin. She nestled softly into the light curling hair on his well-developed chest, feeling tiny and secure. Alan slipped his hand around so that he could gently knead her firm, ripe breast, and luxuriated in their resilient softness. Delicately, he squeezed first one nipple, then the other, feeling them harden and grow taut. Desire was strong in him now, and his body throbbed with growing passion. He kissed her again, this time with a certain animal intensity that could communicate only one thing, that he would make love to her. As she sensed this, Pamela found herself growing somewhat tense, and her mind began to reel with alarm. "Oh God," she pleaded inwardly, "don't let me grow frightened again. Let me love him fully as a woman should. Don't let me grow cold and terrified, please." She tried to return his ardor and mask the sense of sudden anxiety she felt. It was the same fear she had experienced from their marriage night. The young wife was completely inexperienced when she met Alan. Her only knowledge of the Euros was from the stern lectures she had received at boarding school, warning her of the dangers of men and the evil of sex. Pamela had paid little attention to those lectures, but she found, to her horror, that on her wedding night she became terrified and completely frigid as the harsh words of warning surged up from the deep in her subconscious. She had tried to fight it, for she knew it was wrong, but she seemed unable to cope with the strength of fear. Yet now, with her strong, handsome husband holding her close and loving her so tenderly, she tried again to surrender to him, to enjoy his caresses, to love him fully. Go suck a fat one.